Thanks for tuning in. You're watching WION The World as well. I'm Aditya Juneja and this is Speed News. Let's start with all the stories making headlines today. Amid the fragile truce between US and Iran, President Donald Trump has backed Pakistan as a mediator. Well, this after Senator Lindsey Graham, who is a close ally of the US president, criticized Islamabad's diplomacy. Hours earlier, Graham had pressed Pentagon Chief Pete Hegseth and top US General Dan Kane about a CBS News report claiming that Pakistan is allowing Iran to park military assets on its airfields in order to shield them from potential US and Israeli attacks. According to American officials cited by CBS News, multiple Iranian aircrafts were sent to Pakistan Air Force Base Noor Khan near Rawalpindi shortly after President Trump announced a ceasefire with Iran in early April. Responding to US President Donald Trump's comment that truce with Iran was on life support, Iran has hit back and warned the US to accept Iran's latest peace plan or face failure. In a post on X, Iran's chief negotiator and parliament speaker Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf said, and I quote him here, "There is no alternative but to accept the rights of the Iranian people as laid out in the 14-point proposal. Any other approach will be completely inconclusive, nothing but one failure after another." US President Donald Trump has departed for his high-stakes three-day visit to China. This as he seeks to ramp up trade despite potential friction over Taiwan and Iran. Leaving Washington on Tuesday, Trump said he expected a long talk with his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping about Iran. When asked if he needs the Chinese president to help with Iran, Trump said he doesn't think so, going on to claim that they will win the war one way or the other. Kuwait said 4 men arrested while entering country by sea confessed to being members of IRGC who were sent to infiltrate Bubiyan Island. Meanwhile, Iran has denied the claims, saying the officers accidentally entered Kuwaiti waters. The United Arab Emirates has added 21 individuals and entities to its domestic terrorism list for their links to the Lebanese group Hezbollah. The resolution includes the designation of 16 individuals and 5 entities in accordance with applicable laws and regulations in the UAE. The country authorities confirmed that the decision is part of the country's approach to strengthening international cooperation in combating the financing of terrorism. Reports suggest Saudi Arabia carried out secret retaliatory strikes on Iran in response to attacks on its territory during the conflict. The operations, previously unreported, would mark first known direct Saudi military action on Iranian soil. Speaker of the House Mike Johnson delivered remarks during a vigil honoring foreign law enforcement officers on the steps of the US Capitol. Mike Johnson praised officers for protecting American communities and calls law enforcement battle between good and evil. US President Donald Trump reignited controversy after posting a graphic depicting Venezuela as America's 51st state while traveling to China for talks with Xi Jinping. The graphic featured a map of Venezuela covered with the American flag alongside the words 51st state. The White House later reposted the same image on its official X account. The Venezuelan National Assembly has approved a reform to the law governing the Supreme Court of Justice, which increases the number of its justices. The measure is part of the reforms being pushed by the acting president following the ouster of Nicolas Maduro. According to a report by the New York Times, Florida intends to shut down the controversial federal migrant detention center, which is known as Alligator Alcatraz. The New York Times, in its report, cited a federal official and 3 people who are familiar with the facility's operations. A heated exchange unfolded during a U.S. congressional subcommittee hearing as Democratic Senator Chris Van Hollen questioned FBI Director Kash Patel over allegations published in a recent magazine report concerning his conduct and attendance in office. The controversy stems from an article published by The Atlantic, which cited more than 24 anonymous sources claiming that Patel's alleged drinking habits and unexplained absences had raised concerns among officials within the FBI and the Department of Justice. Originally titled "Kash Patel's Erratic Behavior Could Cost Him His Job," the report later appeared online under the headline, "The FBI Director is MIA." The report also noted that the White House, the Department of Justice and Patel himself strongly denied the allegations. Russia test-fired a new intercontinental ballistic missile as part of efforts to modernize the country's nuclear forces. The launch was hailed by President Vladimir Putin just days after his claim that the fighting in Ukraine is nearing an end. Putin said that the nuclear-armed Sarmat missile would enter combat services at the end of the year. It was built to replace the aging Soviet-built Voyvoda. Tens of thousands of Argentines took to the street on Tuesday in Buenos Aires, while demonstrations was carried out against President Javier Milei's deep cuts to the budgets of public universities. UK PM Starmer is battling to remain in his job as 4 junior ministers have resigned and dozens of lawmakers called for him to step down in wake of heavy defeats in local and regional elections. Over 100 Labour lawmakers have signed a statement backing him. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent arrived in Seoul to meet with China's Vice Premier. Bessent is expected to hold talks with He Lifeng in the South Korean capital, against the backdrop of Trump's visit to China. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov is headed to India to discuss the West Asia crisis and the future of BRICS. Russian Foreign Minister will also likely discuss the Ukraine situation and settlement prospects. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov will arrive in New Delhi for a 3-day visit. His talks with his Indian counterpart S. Jaishankar are scheduled for May 13th. On May 14th and 15th, he is to participate in the BRICS Foreign Ministers meeting as India chairs the association this year. The National Testing Agency has handed the NEET paper leak or NEET paper leak case to the CBI and said a retest will be scheduled soon. According to the DG of NTA, the schedule for the re-examination would be announced within the next 7 to 10 days. Meanwhile, in a breakthrough in NEET paper leak probe, Nasik Crime Branch has nabbed Shubham Kherner, a medical sciences student who is believed to be a mastermind behind the paper leak. Police say he changed his appearance to evade arrest, and total 9 arrests have already been made across 5 states. Tamil Nadu's TVK government is set to face a floor test in the assembly today. After a historic victory in Tamil Nadu, actor turned politician and now also the Chief Minister Vijay will face his first big test today, where the TVK will have to prove its majority in the House. Ahead of the floor test, the TVK also received a big shot in the arm after a fraction of the AIADMK announced that it will extend support to TVK government. The AIADMK won 47 seats in the recent assembly polls, and reports say that Shanmugam's fraction has 30 of these legislators. Their support would go a long way to ensuring that Vijay has a stable government. Indonesian Foreign Minister Sugiono has arrived at the Indira Gandhi International Airport in New Delhi. He is visiting India to participate in the BRICS Foreign Ministers meeting. The Nilgiris District Administration has announced that the world-famous flower show will begin from May 14th at the Government Rose Garden in Ooty. Popularly known as the Queen of Hills, Ooty witnesses its summer season every year during the month of May. During this pleasant climate, thousands of tourists visit the hill station daily to enjoy its scenic tourist attractions. Visitors arrive not only from across Tamil Nadu, but also from other states and foreign countries. Japan will form a public-private working group this week to address cybersecurity risks to the financial system posed by Anthropic's new AI model Mythos. The group will bring together 36 entities including major banks, the Bank of Japan, regulators and tech firms including Anthropic and OpenAI. The initiative aims to build a shared understanding of AI-driven threats and develop response strategies for the financial sector with inputs from the US government. The working group is expected to hold its first meeting on Thursday and will be chaired by Mizuho Financial Group's Chief Information Security Officer Osamu Terai. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said he met Palantir CEO Alex Karp as Kiev expands its use of artificial intelligence in the war against Russia. Ukraine has launched a project with Palantir called Brave One Data Room to analyze large volumes of combat data collected since the 2022 Russian invasion and use it for military advantage, including drone interception and air defense systems. Defense Minister has said that more than 100 companies are currently training over 80 AI models to detect and intercept aerial targets, while AI systems are also being integrated into strike planning and intelligence analysis to support Ukraine's frontline operations. In the Musk versus OpenAI case, former OpenAI chief scientist Ilya Sutskever told a California court that he spent a year collecting evidence against CEO Sam Altman, alleging a consistent pattern of lying and internal disruption within the company. He said the evidence was prepared at the request of the OpenAI board and included claims that Altman undermined executives and created internal conflict, with discussions about his behavior also involving then CTO Meera Murati. Ilya confirmed he played a key role in the 2023 board move to remove Altman, but later regretted the decision and voted for his return as fears grew over OpenAI's stability. Asian markets slipped as hotter than expected US inflation and uncertainty over the fragile Iran ceasefire weighed on investor sentiment. MSCI's Asia Pacific Index fell for a second straight session, while South Korean shares dropped sharply before recovering some losses amid concerns over an overheated AI rally. Japan's Nikkei also traded lower as investors tracked rising geopolitical risks and stronger expectations of higher US interest rates. Oil prices remained elevated above $100 a barrel due to continued disruption in the Strait of Hormuz, keeping pressure on inflation globally. India has raised import duties on gold and silver to 15% from 6% in a bid to curb imports and ease pressure on foreign exchange reserves. Well, the move is expected to reduce demand for precious metals and support the rupee, which has been among Asia's weakest performing currencies. The government has imposed a 10% customs duty along with a 5% agriculture cess on imports. Industry experts warn the higher taxes could revive gold smuggling, even as imports had already slowed sharply after earlier tax measures. India remains the world's second largest consumer of precious metals and relies heavily on imports to meet domestic demands. Walmart is reportedly cutting or relocating around 1,000 corporate employees as the retail giant accelerates its artificial intelligence-driven transformation. The company is restructuring its global technology and AI teams under CEO John Furner to improve efficiency and better compete with rivals like Amazon, Costco, and Aldi. Many affected employees have reportedly been asked to relocate to Walmart's offices in Arkansas and Northern California, while others can apply for internal openings. Walmart has been investing heavily in AI tools and digital operations as it pushes to modernize shopping experiences and streamline business functions amid growing competition in the retail sector. Global demand for electric vehicles rose for a second straight month in April as high fuel prices pushed more buyers away from petrol and diesel cars. Data from Benchmark Mineral Intelligence showed global EV registrations climbed 6% from a year earlier to 1.6 million vehicles. Europe led the growth, with registrations jumping 27%, supported by strong policy incentives and major investment in EV infrastructure. However, demand weakened in China and North America after the rollback of subsidies and tax incentives. Despite this, Chinese automakers continued expanding overseas, with exports topping 400,000 electric vehicles in April alone. Analysts say rising fuel costs and growing global competition are continuing to reshape the electric vehicle market. Barcelona manager Hansi Flick has said that he will extend his contract with the Spanish champions until 2028. Flick, whose current deal was due to expire in June 2027, is set to sign a one-year extension with an option to prolong his tenure. Flick joined Barcelona in the summer of 2024 and in 2 seasons at the club, he has won back-to-back La Liga titles, 1 Copa del Rey and 2 Spanish Super Cups. The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences has officially announced that Conan O'Brien will return to host the 99th Academy Awards on March 14, 2027. This marks O'Brien's 3rd consecutive year at the helm. It is a rare feat previously achieved only by legends like Billy Crystal, Johnny Carson, and Bob Hope. Global icon Priyanka Chopra Jonas is officially joining the cast and production team of Amri, a new feature film directed by Meera Nair. The project follows the life of the trailblazing Hungarian-Indian painter Amrita Sherkil, while Anjali Sivaraman takes on the titular role. Chopra Jonas will portray Madame Azuri and serve as an executive producer. The film is currently in production across India and Hungary. The upcoming film Balun the Boy is set to make its international debut at the Marshidu Film during the Cannes Film Festival this year. The film is directed by Chidambaram and written by Jeetu Madhavan. The market screening at Cannes serves as a global launchpad for the project ahead of its multi-language theatrical release in India. The movie is expected to release in the country on June 19th. Global pop superstar Harry Styles has released the official music video for Dance No More. It is the latest single from his fourth studio album, Kiss All the Time, Disco Occasionally, directed by Colin Solcado. The vibrant visual features Styles in his signature electric vibe, but the track has quickly become a fan favorite for its disco pop production and themes of liberation. The release comes just as Styles kicks off his highly anticipated Together Together residency. Well, that is it in this edition. News and updates will continue on the other side. Keep watching WION The World as well.